Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be reading an article talking about international trade being done in Bitcoin to go around sanctions. This is an article that was published, I think, on July 30th. So we're going to be talking about that in today's video. If you guys think that's interesting, you know what to do. Hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and go to cryptollc.org. If you're looking to set up a Bitcoin farm, you're looking to get miners, buy miners, sell miners, you're looking to purchase, we have some available data center slots, 1 megawatt slots we have available in North Dakota. So if you're interested in that as well, we have that at cryptollc.org. Today's video, walking around park here. You guys can see where I'm at. This is still in Washington State. Now, if all those lily pads, you would assume there'd be like a million frogs in here, but no, I don't hear anything. Pretty quiet. Guess they're all sleeping. It's pretty, not really early anymore. It's around 9 a.m. here. All right, well, let's get started. Oh, before we get started, by the way, Bitcoin saves your wealth and Jesus Christ saves your soul. All right, let's go. So today's video is going to be from an article published by Reuters. Title is Russia to allow crypto payments in international trade to counter sanctions. We read a little bit lower. It says, July 30th, Russian lawmakers passed a bill on Tuesday that will allow businesses to use cryptocurrencies in international trade as part of efforts to skirt Western sanctions imposed after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So, first of all, we all know that Bitcoin saves your wealth. Right? We all know that Bitcoin gives you ultimate freedom. Bitcoin gives you the freedom to use money how you wish, buy what you want. It's your money. You earned it. You get to say where it goes, how you spend it, and all of that. We all understand that in terms of personal, right? Personal freedom. But doesn't that freedom apply to countries? Don't countries also deserve that same type of freedom? And from our perspective here, yes, they do. Every country deserves that freedom. You know, United States should be able to spend their Bitcoin how they see fit. So does Argentina. So does Brazil. So does South Africa. So does Iran. So does China. And so does Russia. And in this article, they're talking about how Russia is going to allow businesses to do international trade using cryptocurrency to get around sanctions. So you all know with the whole situation that happened in Ukraine and all of that. And after, it was pretty much a setup to get them to attack so that they can have an excuse for sanctions. Worked out perfectly. They released their sanctions. It was like, thousands of them. The most sanctioned country in the world, in human history, I think it is. The most sanctioned country in human history. And after all those sanctions came into effect, they thought that the economy would fall apart. They thought that they would get rid of him. By him, I mean they would get rid of Putin. That didn't work out. That was a joke. And after they got rid of their SWIFT, remember, they said, okay, we're going to get rid of their SWIFT. They can't even make international payments. Then they tried to make them default. Remember that a couple of years ago where they said, well, Russia has to pay their debts to some institutions or some investors out there, and those debts were in US dollars. And so what United States did, they said, you know what, we're going to block you from making those payments. And so since you do have the money, but you didn't pay because we made it impossible for you to pay, that means you're going to default. So they tried to make them default on that. That was a total joke. That didn't work out because Russia just paid with rubles. But you get the idea. So now Russia's coming to the realization that, you know what, one of the ways we can get around this problem is, how about we just allow our big international, sovereign businesses or assets or whatever we have out there, what if we just allow them to sell their products in Bitcoin? What if we just allow them to sell their products in crypto? When they say crypto, they pretty much just mean Bitcoin. I don't know what other crypto they're going to be using that's be more accepted than that. So what they mean is they just mean Bitcoin. So if you're going to allow that to happen, for your international clients, what does that say about the strength of Bitcoin? What does that say about how powerful Bitcoin is? Because if you're being sanctioned by one of the biggest economies in the world, the United States, you're being sanctioned by them. If you're being sanctioned by them, and how you go around that is just, oh, just use Bitcoin, and there you go, you can't stop me. Imagine how powerful that is. Oh, the whole FBI, the CIA, the the Treasury Department, the Federal Reserve of the United States, the physical policy, the rules and all that international stuff they'll talk about. We all know it's all mumbo jumbo garbage, but they all pretend like they have some kind of rules. It just means that no. Rules are for you, right? Rules are for me. We follow, they don't. They do whatever they want. But you get the idea, right? And all of that can be fixed, right? All of that can be eliminated. All of that can go out the window. All you have to do is use Bitcoin. That's it. All you have to do is use Bitcoin. As soon as you use Bitcoin, the power's gone. What are they going to do now? How are they going to stop, let's say that, Russian business, how are they going to stop them from selling aluminum or steel or coal or natural gas or oil or technologies or weapon systems? How are they going to stop you or them from selling that? They're not using SWIFT. They're not using the dollar, right? They're using their own system, and in this case, they're using Bitcoin. How are they going to stop that? And the answer is they cannot. And as more and more countries start doing that, as more and more countries start going out there and saying, you know what, why are we even using the dollar? Why are we even using that? We're just going to get sanctioned. Why are we using something that can just be confiscated? Why are we using a dollar that can just be stolen from us? I mean, they stole 450 billion from the Russians. They stole that. So why don't they just steal some Argentino money? Why don't they just steal some Brazilian reals? Why don't they just steal some Chinese? Why don't they just take it, right? Why don't they just steal that stuff? And obviously keeping in mind that they can only touch what is a US dollar. They can't touch their country's currencies. But you get the idea that a lot of these countries hold US dollars. They have a reserve of that. China has trillions of them. I mean, what's the Chinese going to do if they have a couple $1 trillion in US reserves? What if the US government says, you know what, we're bankrupting over here. We need some cash. And who has the cash? Well, the Chinese have the cash. Let's just take it. Let's just steal it. Let's just call them terrorists and take it. And then we will be better off like that. It's very, very sad state, but totally understandable. When you're bankrupting, that's what people do, right? When you're desperate, when people are desperate, they start to steal. When people are desperate, they'll start to lie. When people are desperate, they're going to take what they can. And here they took Russia's US dollar reserve and euro reserves that they had. They stole it from them. And what you do to go around that is you don't use the dollar ever again. And you allow international trade in Bitcoin, which no one can take, no one can steal, no one can print away. No one can just say, you know what, 21 million Bitcoin is a little too little. We need to put another zero on that 21 million and make it 210 million. Put another zero, make it 2.1 billion. That's what we need to do. No one can do that, right? It is fixed. No one can touch it. And take your guys' cue from Russia. If Russia's doing this, and I'll put it this way: if the U.S. government can take their money, they can take yours, right? If the U.S. government doesn't like them, they don't like you. And Bitcoin is a way where you can save your wealth, you can store your wealth, and one of the best ways to do that is to invest in Bitcoin mining, because in the long term, you take like a 5-year plan, you will mine more Bitcoin for the amount of money you invested than you would if you bought Bitcoin, like on average in a 5-year plan. A lot of times, or not a lot, basically all the time, that's exactly what happens, right? You get a nice, good electric rate, you build out your farm, you place your miners there. Let's say you got like 5 megawatts, you have 5 megawatts. You save your Bitcoin, you mine it, you don't buy the Bitcoins, you mine the Bitcoins, and in a 5-year period, you would have more Bitcoin and you would have a more upside to your investment. Rather than just taking your money and just dumping it into Bitcoin and then hoping for the best, you'd actually be in the game, you'd be mining Bitcoin, and you would be better off. Well, that's pretty much it for today's video. Hope you guys like it. I'm like walking through shrubs here, trying to not make other people awkward. by not walking like in front of them or around them. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Hope you guys like it. You know what to do, like, subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you guys want in future videos. Maybe you have a certain topic you want me to talk about. We can do that as well. That's gonna be it. Bye-bye.